Hello and welcome to Walk With Me, the podcast. I am your host, Bédard, and today I'll invite you to embark on the journey that is as simple as it is profound, the act of walking together. Now, the name Walk With Me is intentional, me is my initials, Marie, but it also stands for me as in each one of us. So this podcast is a place where I want us to explore life, death, everything in between and beyond. Over the years, I've witnessed that growth and evolution can be daunting for a lot of people, but when we get out of our heads and walk the path together, something truly magical happens. We collapse time, we tap into our inner wisdom, and unlock amazing potentialities. So this journey is not just about walking. It's more than just putting one foot in front of the other. It's about exploration. It's about the deep connections we form with ourselves, with others, and with the world around us as we move through life. So together, we'll dive into the discoveries of science, the teachings of the heart, and the revelations of the soul. From the frequency of the Black Forest in Germany where I live, I'll be added some sacred feminine wisdom and collective consciousness. We'll explore how everything shapes our lives and our path. So lace up your shoes and let's walk together on this path of growth and evolution. Hello. Welcome to this first episode of the Rebranded Walk With Me podcast. I am your host. I am Marie, and I'm so happy to be here with you and to share what I have to share with you. Now, I am going a little bit in a new direction here because I wanted to bring this podcast to another level, to a level that was more fluid, that was more light, that was easier to navigate, but at the same time that was actually tapping into what it means to be human. Like, how do we work in this world? How do we evolve? How do we grow? By the simple act of walking. And walking here is like the actual walking, but it's also the metaphorical walking, like when we walk on our journey on this earth, in this life, and the people that actually are with us in the journey of all of this. And I've actually thought about how I wanted this podcast to evolve into. And while I was sitting and I was remembering all the time of my actual growth, spurts and evolution, it was mainly when I was downloading podcast episodes on subjects that I wanted to deepen, and I was downloading them on my phone, and I was just plugging my earbuds and I was going for long walks. Now, for those of you that know me, I am a walker. I've been walking all my life. Walking is the most important meditation in action in my life, with cooking. And it taps into so many things, so many wellness, so many health points. And it was something that I was doing more and more, as I was navigating this life, when I was, going through difficult times, or just when I was just being alive, whether I was alone, whether I was with people. And it really I'm really connected to my body, and I really connect to myself, and it really came naturally to me. And then I started to look into, what do we know about the benefits of walking? What does it do for our mind, our body, our heart, our soul? And, Human Design Line 1 here, I wanted to dive a little bit into this. And I know that some of you really like to have some numbers. So I actually prepare some of the, science that we know about the benefits of walking, just to kind of kick us off here and set the tone as to why I decided to use this metaphor, and to invite you to also, as you plug in to this podcast, that you actually do the same as me and plug in and make your own bubble and just go for a walk with me. So, walking is the most, when we're thinking about the physical benefits of walking is the most accessible form of exercise, right? You just put your shoes and you just go out and you walk, and you can walk anywhere. And one thing that I've noticed since we're in Germany, of course, right now we're living in the Black Forest, and 3 paths come out of my front door. 2 of them are going straight into the forest. 1 goes to the main road, but also you can, veer and go to the forest as well. But even when you're in the city, I was working for many years downtown Montreal when I was living back in Canada, and I was walking when it was lunchtime. I was walking everywhere. It was really a means for me to get out of the office and really enjoy life and have the benefits of walking. So when we're walking, we're not just moving our legs, we're engaging in biology and chemistry that has an impact in all of our being, in all of our body, basically. And so if you're looking at some of the data, walking briskly for just 30 minutes a day can lower your risk of heart disease by up to 19%. So it's like every time that you're walking, and if you're doing it like with the heartbeat, you actually can really connect with your most vital organ, which is like actual vital organ, but also like metaphorical as well, which beats to the rhythm of your life. And there's a connection between walking and our metabolism. So like just walking activates a cascade of biochemical processes that burn calorie, obviously, but also like it boosts your metabolism. So beyond weight management, it's also igniting the energy within yourself. It actually connects with your mitochondria, and when you were looking at longevity as well, like we're really engaging in activities that are promoting health and wellness on the long term. And it also is a fantastic straightener for our bones and joints. And when we're looking at what our ancestors were doing, they were actually walking. We evolve as nomads, and walking was part of migration. It was part of like something that we're doing together, but that was built in our lifestyle, right? So that's why the fact that we're sitting all the time is so bad, because we're not meant to be sitting all day long. So as much as you can increase the amount of walking that you do within your life, the more you're gonna reap the benefits of how our body were built. And the science supports this, because walking maintains bone density and joint flexibility, and by doing that, it helps to prevent conditions like osteoporosis and arthritis. And it's also boosting the immune system. Like we don't really understand how it specifically works, but regular walking has been shown to boost our immune system, reducing the number of sick days by 43%. Like when you're looking at employees, this is huge, like, so it's really showing how the act of walking is so powerful. Now, when we're looking at the mental and emotional benefits of walking, it's even greater. We're really understanding that walking is not just a physical journey. It's like mental, emotional, and spiritual as well. We're going to get into that, but like there's a science to the mental clarity of the fact that how we feel when we walk, like as we move, we engage both hemispheres of the brain. So we stimulate the creative thinking and problem solving. So there's a study from Stanford University that found that walking increases creative output by an average of 60%. So it's as if like walking unlocks the doors of the mind, and it allows the ideas to flow freely and unburden us from like the constraint of life. And this is why like more and more I'm building my business around like when you are coached by me, like I'm listening to my messages, I'm responding, I'm doing more and more stuff as I'm walking in the forest here, in the Black Forest, not just for the vibe, but also because it's such an incredible and powerful creative way to move ideas, to move like everything through me, So it's not just for the mental aspect of it, it's also a fantastic balm for the emotions as well. So when we walk, we activate the parasympathetic nervous system. So it lowers cortisol levels, and it actually promotes relaxation. So a simple 10-minute walk can be as effective as a 45-minute workout in reducing anxiety and stress. Now, if you're, like I used to have a lot of anxiety, and that's how I've been, since I'm a child, I've been managing my anxiety a lot by walking. So it's naturally, I actually intuitively found that walking was good for me, but like the science really supports this. And, like walking allows us to just process and feel and heal, like in all of the needs that we have on that emotional front. And since it also releases endorphins, which is one of the body's natural mood elevator, walking regularly reduces the risk of major depression by 26%. I actually, like, my first burnout was when my father had a quadruple bypass at 49 years old, and I spent like the 2 months afterwards like really taking care of him, like to the point where I exhausted myself and I burned out. So as he was like getting better, I actually literally crashed. And at that time I didn't take any mood elevator or any medication. I literally just walked. And I actually run as well in that period of time, but like I just got out and walking. It just happened that it was, in the month of April, May, where the spring is back, the sun is back. So it really, really helped, to expose as well to the vitamin D that the sun provides. But beyond the numbers, there's a deeper truth, like when we walk, we reconnect with ourselves, with our feelings, and with the joy that life offers us. So I can actually like even remember walks that I took months or even years ago, like how I felt, how those walks expanded my sense of self and connected me to something larger, like we were recently on a walk in a path that we hadn't been in a little while. And I remember the last time I actually walked there. I remember which podcast episode at which point that was really like creating a shift for me as I was passing there. Like there's really like a deeper connection to the paths and what happens. And if you're a kinesthetic learner, then you're really gonna, integrate a lot more when you're moving. So as I was saying, like the walking is also something that fosters deeper connections, not just to yourself, but with others. So when we walk with someone else, we're not just sharing physical space, we're sharing a journey, a moment in time that brings us closer together. Walking side by side, conversations, they flow naturally and deeper connections are formed. Like there's a survey that showed that 72% of people report feeling happier and more connected when they walk with others. There's so much data on this. It's even like it teaches us that we are not meant to be walking alone, like in life. And it shows how like it brings us back to like how we evolve in coming here, where we used to like migrate together. There's like biological rewards that are built in what we are doing and how we're connecting with each other. And I even read that that's why like I'm gonna tell you, walking saved my marriage. Like especially when we moved to Germany and we were facing so many like hurdles and difficulties in the broader sense, like in a general sense, but also how we actually like individually navigated through this. And the fact that we were every single day for 45 minutes to an hour, even more, going out together, my husband and I and our two dogs, and walking together, even if we were not talking, that really brought us closer and closer together. It held us together, like in ways that we couldn't have imagined. And we started to do that because I was tapping into everything that was going to help us through this difficult time. So it's really interesting when you're looking at the biology behind, and all the rewards that we have. And even more so when we have a difficult conversation, like let's say like you have a difficult conversation that you need to have with somebody else, going for a walk together, if you've already been doing it, then the conversation will be more fluid. There will be more openness to it. So going for a walk before having the conversation will allow the conversation to take place in a more positive way, like with a more openness, which is really, really cool because, we're even tapping into more empathy and compassion. So that is such a powerful tool. So, and it's not just when we're physically walking together, we're still connecting through the act of walking when we're, walking together over a phone call, or right now, as you're listening to this, if you're walking, like we are bridging space, time with the act of walking, which is really, really cool as well. So knowing that even when we're miles apart, when we're walking the same path, connected in spirit, really brings us closer together. So that's why the magic of Walk With Me comes in. Like in today's world, we have the incredible ability to download an episode, put our earbuds and go for a walk. And at that point, we're disconnected from the noise of the world, but yet connected in our own little bubble with people that we actually want to learn, evolve, and grow with as we move. So as you walk with me, I want you to feel deeply transformed by this simple act of moving forward, step by step, moment by moment, as you're listening to my words and interacting with the world. There's also the aspect of the spiritual meaning of it. And that's why I'm saying like walking for me has been like one of the two meditation in action that I always have. Like I've I've been walking for, 40 plus years now. And I started to cook as well. I must have been like 6 years old. I remember it was like grade 1 parascholar thing that my mom signed me up. Like we had a whole bunch of activities that we could choose, and I chose cooking, and I've never looked back. So cooking and walking have been two main things that are bringing me like meditation on a spiritual level. So we can really do like walking meditation. We have that in different spiritual practice as well. The form of moving meditation helps us connect with our inner selves and with the world around us. It actually shifts when we walk mindfully, when we pay attention to each step, each breath. We become more present. We're anchoring in the present moment. And we're not just going through the world, we're engaging with it in a deeper level. So it's really, really cool when we're really thinking about that. And when we're walking in nature, it has profound effects on our mental and spiritual being. Like the studies have shown that spending time walking, especially in natural environment, increase feelings of vitality and well-being by 50%. And beyond those numbers, there's the experience of being alive, of connecting to the earth, the sky, and everything in between. And I think that when we're thinking about the fact that we're so disconnected with everything, when we're having a practice that connects us more to ourselves, to others, and to the earth, we can really feel more the wholeness, the oneness that we have with everything around us, with that life, death, everything in between and beyond. By giving us our time for reflection and self-discovery, like we can find clarity, insight, deeper understanding of our place in this world, our sense of purpose, creating spaciousness that we need in a world that we're constantly bombarded with a whole bunch of stuff. So with each small steps that we take as we walk, it helps us to uncover a little bit more of who we are and where we want to go forward. And there's, I can't talk about the spiritual aspect or like the spiritual benefit of walking or the benefits for the soul of walking without talking about walking as a form of gratitude. When you walk, you can appreciate the world around you. You can slow down. You can, tune in with the movement of your body, with the gifts of the present moment, a walk in the woods, in the sun, with the gentle breeze, light, fluid, and freeing. It's such a beautiful way to explore everything and to slow down and to take a break. So all of this really, really shows how walking is a powerful, powerful tool. And as we walk through this life, like literally like move our bodies and also walk through this life on our journey, I'm going to invite you to combine the two and to see how we can make walking a regular part of your life, and the first step is going to be taking that decision, taking that first step, you don't need to come into long walks every day. Just begin with 5, 10, 15-minute walk around your neighborhood, like anywhere that actually you can move your body and walk, and also like take that time for yourself or to connect with other people, that nourishing connection that we have with others. And as you get comfortable, you can gradually increase in duration and intensity. So making enjoyable, like listen to your favorite music, the podcast, an audiobook while you walk. So you're combining different aspects of the learning, of all the pieces that move together. And if you prefer silence, just use that time to connect with your thoughts and practice mindfulness, slowing down, letting go, creating spaciousness, surrendering. You can even invite others to join. It's actually really good for accountabilities, but also, like I was saying, like whether it's a family member, a friend, a colleague, you'll find that, walking together adds a whole new dimension to your relationship. And it really, really helps strengthen the bond with each other. So, and once you actually start to do that, be consistent. The benefit of walking build over time, and making it a regular part of your routine with all the different pieces that are moving, like I was saying, will create such a ripple effect in every single aspect of your life. So you're gonna thank me later. So whether it's morning, night, midday, find a time that works for you. It doesn't have to be always the same. It can vary as long as you're consistent and you're increasing more and more. So there you go. that was the first kickoff episode of Walk With Me Rebranded. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope that, today's episode will inspire you to walk with me, but you just walk, integrate that in your life and integrate the walking way as well, where you grow and you evolve and you allow yourself to change and to walk your path and you find your way and create more joy and create more happiness, in your life by nurturing the mind, the body, the heart, and the soul, connecting with ourselves and with the world. It's a beautiful metaphor for the journey we're all on, and that we're moving forward one step at a time. So, from the sacred frequency of the Black Forest in Germany, I am wishing you an amazing, amazing day. I encourage you to go out and play and notice how it makes you feel. And remember that you're never walking alone. I'm here with you in spirit through the words and ideas that I've just shared. So thank you for tuning in to Walk With Me. And I look forward to walking with you through future episodes. Until then, stay well and keep walking. Thank you for being part of today's episode and walking with me. As the seasons of life shift, we hold the power to navigate our path with courage, intuition, and wisdom, and embrace change with an open heart, for within it lies the potential for remarkable growth and evolution. If this conversation resonated with you, please subscribe on your favorite platform, leave a heartfelt review, and share it on social media. If you know someone who would benefit from this episode, I'd be honored if you shared it with them. You can stay connected with me on social media, where I continue to share insights and inspiration. And for a deeper connection, you can join my Telegram community for exclusive content and real-time conversation. You'll find the link in the show notes. Until our next encounter, keep exploring, embracing change, and finding joy in every moment. And remember, you can always come back here and walk with me.